Oh, okay. Well, welcome to April, and gonna keep moving forward here. Okay, so I think we're streaming now. I think we're all good there. We got Jason in here. We got Sam in here. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Awesome.
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing good. I feel like I'm coming down with a cold, but it hasn't quite hit me yet. I feel like it's
That's
looming in the background after being surrounded by kids for 2 weeks, little germ monsters.
yeah.
I just want to,
It's just willpower.
yeah, we had over like well last weekend we had like 20 kids here for a birthday party and all that kind of stuff. So, well, over the weekend, how was your guys' long weekend? Did you guys do anything
Uh,
exciting?
Long.
no, nothing that exciting.
No,
Nothing that exciting.
we chilled, ate some food, played some badminton in the backyard. It was my son's birthday yesterday and he wanted to go play pickleball. So spent like 2 hours playing pickleball yesterday. And I'm definitely feeling it.
Hmm.
So yeah. All right, man. Jason, you had some
Yeah,
questions yesterday. Did you get your stuff figured out? Did it work for you
yeah,
or
yeah. It worked for me. I'm not sure what it was. I mean, I was wait for it for a couple of days, and then I don't know. But it's back
yeah,
running.
there
I
was
think
like
I was
sorry, go
thinking
ahead.
that I guess I was thinking that my dashboard was gonna be in GH like was gonna be in GHL, but it's not. It's just a link to that page,
Oh
right?
yeah, so if you take that and put that as a custom menu link, um, in high level, then you can have that show up in your agency and you just click a link on your dashboard there on your in your main menu in your agency.
That's what I thought it was. So I must have deleted that somehow.
Oh yeah, maybe. So yeah, you know how to do that?
How to put it in there? I put it in there
Yeah.
once. Oh, you know why I must have deleted that? Because I actually started uh deleting everything and wanted to start from scratch just because
Oh,
I
okay, yeah.
wanted
So
to. I
that's
mean,
probably what it was.
I didn't delete all the snapshots, of course, because that's just
Yeah, so
uh
that's probably what happened there is that you just deleted that link. So it was weird. I had a couple of people message me that they couldn't maybe they couldn't find their link or whatever because I sent them out the exact same link as what they got in their original email when they onboarded and everyone was like, "Okay, that works." So I don't know if there was an actual issue yesterday or not, but um who knows anyway.
right.
Um yeah, so let's see. I had a couple questions, or some Brian threw a couple questions at me earlier today that I'll just mention. Really, the questions that he asked earlier today was just like, what domain do we use when we're setting up like A2P or the just a domain for your client when you're setting up a new account for them, and I'll just go over this again is we usually lots of times if we can't get access to a customer's domain, then we will go and we have a generic subdomain that we use, and then we'll create like client's name dot our generic subdomain.com kind of thing. And that's what we'll use to set them up. And then we can use that for A2P registration as well. So using the A2P using that for their page or their terms and conditions, whichever. Now, in the restaurant snapshot, we have a generic terms and conditions. I take no, I'm not saying it's like the best thing in there. You might want to, for anybody using it, you might want to just take it in, like reread it and make sure it works for you guys. I'm just gonna jump over to right now. It's just a generic one that we've used for years, and it's been working fine. Uh, we're on adding spell today. I'll go over to that. So we've got a terms and conditions in there, and I don't know if you need to have it when you're doing ATP registration. I know when we did it for a couple clients, they said that we didn't have terms and conditions, even though we had like the a generic little blurb at the bottom that said um at the bottom of our form that said this is like the terms and conditions of signing up for this thing. So we did create a terms and conditions page. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so um, it's It's just something that we've used forever. And we made it so that you can just go through here, and I think you can just go through and update the wording in there to reflect your business. Could probably change it all over to custom values too, to autofill like the address and everything in there. I don't think I did that,
You got a
but it's been
lot of
work.
stuff open.
It's been working for ATP registration for us here. So I got, yeah, so I've got it just hard coded in here, in the restaurant one. Maybe I'll go through and fill it in with custom values. And I don't know if I should put a disclaimer at the top that says basically, I'm not a lawyer. Use at your own risk kind of thing. But I think it's just a generic one that we've used, that's basically allowed us to do everything through Facebook's approved it, because Facebook, if you're running Facebook ads, you need to have a terms and conditions and privacy policy and Facebook disclaimer and all that kind of stuff. And then the ATP registration likes to see that you have a terms and conditions as well. So that's linked from the form. So just making sure you set that up. And then you can use that with whatever domain. Now, if you have access to a customer's actual DNS records, I would always suggest going and creating a subdomain like go.thebusinessname.com, whatever, for theirs. But like for example, here we have restaurant that my rewards demo, and that's just the demo one, but same kind of thing. So I would always suggest using the restaurant, the client's domain, if you have access to it. So that was just to answer Brian's question from earlier today. And I think he did say that he went and set it up with go.thebusinessname.com or the business's domain.com, and that works out for him. So yeah, little thing there. We have almost finished up the testing on the salon snapshot, so we'll have that ready to go this week. Didn't get a whole lot of work done over the weekend with birthdays and Easter and everything going on, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Yeah, so wondering if you guys have any questions or how things have been, and if there's anything I can help you guys with today.
Well, going along with what you were talking about with the terms and conditions, what is everyone using for the actual onboarding, not onboarding, but legal sign up sheet really for for what they sign when they sign up with you?
I have a service agreement that I've used for years, and I could share this too. I got this from another agency like 10 years ago. But it basically covers uh most of the details, and you can just customize it. I would take it again as I can share this and just take it as a template for maybe what you want to do, what I would normally do for our service agreement. And this, I use this for like websites and everything that we do. And it's just basically says, hey, we're doing work for you. You hired us, and this is our agreement. So we have
Right.
a scope of work. If we're doing custom work for someone, then I'll put the custom work, the scope of work here, outline what we put in our proposal, what we actually said we're going to do for them. And then we have this agreement here where it has like client name, client dates, stuff like that, and then it has our business name in there. And then it just goes through these different things saying termination of agreement, like governing law, whatever. And then at the bottom, and then I have it just here, you have to sign to confirm that client name has contracted Think Big Studios to have Think Big Studios provide an online service as described in the proposal and the scope of work above. And then they can sign it, or that person confirms they have the authority to, or I confirm authorization to order Think Big Studios online services outlined in the referral proposal. Whatever, I had somebody else in there. And then I put the budget, I put the numbers down here again, what they're paying for, just to outline it again, and then have them sign.
Right. Okay.
So in this one, I would just go like here, highlight that, go like to find and replace everywhere that it says client kind of thing. But you can go, and I can share this with you guys. I'll make a copy of this one. And then if you want to use something like this, it's just a template that you could basically take and update for your needs
Okay.
kind of thing. Maybe I'll do that right now. Let's go make a copy. Generic service agreement. I think the big thing about it is just at the bottom where it's you have them sign saying, yes, I agree to doing that. I agree to this. And, that way, just if anytime somebody comes back and says, hey, whatever, I've seen people where they, somebody charges them back for work that they've done and stuff like that, so, here, we'll just put scope of work here. Service agreement, gonna get
And
rid of
you don't DocuSign or anything like that, or is this a sort of
this one. You know what? I haven't used DocuSign really. I mean, this could totally be put into DocuSign for sure. I haven't. Yeah, I'm just still doing stuff old school where I just email this over. They sign it, scan it, send it back.
right,
DocuSign would be like 10 times easier though.
right?
Uh,
I still don't have any clients yet. I was on the phone with like 5 people this morning though.
oh,
Good
awesome.
prospect, but I don't have any uh clients yet. Sometimes my work, real work gets in the way too, though, you know.
That happens. Who are you talking to this morning?
Let's see. Today I have a spreadsheet that reminds me. But today I talked to a guy, a bakery, actually two bakeries.
Yeah.
Which I think bakeries work well. Actually, the last guy I talked to seemed really promising, and we're scheduling another call. I talked to a woman who has a party party rental,
Okay.
and she's on two things. She says, "Wow, she's been thinking about trying to get something like this for a while, and at the same time, they're on the verge of deciding whether they want to go another year or they just want to fold the business."
Okay.
So, and like currently, right now, all her clients are simply they're usually just the return customers that come, and I had a whole conversation with her about that, like what, as far as what I could do for her is bringing using those clients to get more clients. I mean, you have a party, you've got for 30 other potential people there, and then she also doesn't reach out to her current clients. She just waits for them to come back to her,
Oh yeah.
which is
Definitely some, but that's a big reason why they're like, well, maybe we should close.
right. Well,
You
if you're going to
know?
keep doing it the exactly way that you were doing it, then you probably should. But
Yeah.
if you want to keep going, then there's some things you could change to make sure that you're more prosperous in the next year, right?
And they're a party supply store, or they do like do they do rentals, or what do they do?
Rentals. So, they rentals and on location. You get party tents and tables and balloons and all that sort of deal.
Yeah. Want to make sure I have my name out of this whole thing before I share it.
Oh, I also wanted to ask, I'm sorry, you want to say something?
No, I'm just like just changing this here. Think big. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, but it's interesting the businesses that you run into who are like yeah, I don't know, maybe we should just close or
Well, I get, but
whatever.
they've been around for 10 years, so it's like you've made it this far. If you've been
Yeah,
around for 2 years, then yeah, because
who knows where they're at.
right.
Okay, so let's share.
My other question was, so I missed the call last week,
Okay.
and you put a demo link up.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, we've got I'm gonna put this in chat right now. For the demo
yeah,
site.
yeah. So is that something like you would just give, or I would just give someone say, hey, look at this?
Yeah, what you can do is go restaurant my rewards demo.com. So should put HTTP. Okay, so what you can do is you can send people over to this if you want to do a demo and kind of show them a few things and run them through how the system works. I made it like basically a generic domain name, make it gray label. basically so that you guys can go and just share it out. So if you want to run through it, what I've also done too is just share. I've given people this page here, which you would just change the links to link to your different sections. With this demo here is this is just a funnel page. But it just links to different pages within the normal reward system. So I have the in-house promotion set up on this one. And what you could do if you're just sending out a link to somebody, you could send them over to this. You could collect their email information and stuff like that before you send it over, or you could have it up so somebody could just go in and test it out on their own. But we basically go through three different ways to sign up. QR code in-house. They can text the number to this number. This number is A2P, so they can get to it. It's already done. So this should send out a message pretty much anywhere. Then we have the rewards dashboard demo, which lets them register for their rewards section. And then we also have the loyalty card demo here where they can register for the loyalty card. And then we give them points when they register in here as well. So then when they go into the rewards section, the loyalty dashboard, they'll actually see points that they can use it to redeem for fake items and stuff too. So then we have an example of a missed call text back quick links page, which looks a lot similar to this. And then we created a page here that takes screenshots of the different loyalty dashboard sections, and so you can walk through and talk to them about that, because I don't think you need to give them actual demo of how it works, but you can explain to them what happens when they can go into these different areas. So that's essentially what we set up for the demo. Now this one is already set up, so you can take it and use it, go through it and test it out. That's fine. And then but if you want to set this up on yours with your own branding and stuff like that, I can just share you. I'll actually put this, I think I'm going to put this page as a downloadable link under snapshots in the reward section as well. So you can just grab it.
So right. So I guess that's what I was going to ask. Like, do we have this funnel in already, or we don't have this
You
funnel?
don't have the funnel. I can just share it though. That's not a problem. Yeah, where is it? I'm in the restaurant one here already. So I'll put it in chat here and then
You're just sharing and sharing and sharing. We got to make good use of this stuff.
yeah, so I will do okay, so A1 demo page start here. I will share this funnel page with you. Anyone with the link, copy link, throw it in chat here too. So if you want to download that, or you can add that to any funnel that you want, or just save that link for later and then add it wherever you want to. So that's just going to give you, it's basically just going to create this page, links, demo registration, if you want to set that up on your own again. So this is, you can have them go here, register, then it'll send them over to the quick links page. And then there's a leaderboard overview in there too. So there's that. Let's see if we have any other questions in here.
I got to get some sales soon though, because this Go High Level isn't cheap.
No, yeah, I mean that's kind of the whole reason. Like Sam, we talked to Sam last week or on Friday, and she super pumped because she's doing so well with it, and really, like she said, she's just going out and visiting everybody and talking to them. And I mean, you had like you said, you had 2 or 3 minutes. You had 2 or 3 meetings today.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah. That's just a start, man. That's where you just got like my screen's going all because I'm sharing the screen, but also like it's doing that whole camera thing.
I went out like maybe last week too, or week before that. And I like went out personally to some places, and then I realized
Yeah.
I realized like you know, once some person's vibe was like suspicious or something, like once they started showing sort of negativity, then I was just sort of like following along with that, like, oh, okay, I guess. When I was like, why would you do that? Like, you wouldn't do
Yeah.
that if, like, you gotta act like if you were at a club or something, you know, you just keep putting forth your best until they say, until you gotta. keep going forward.
Yeah, like I found it weird because like it just in general, like whenever you're doing sales like that and approaching, it really depends on the mindset of the business as well, right? Because I've walked into places and talked to them about it and they're like, that's awesome. Yeah, I would love to do it. Let's sign up for it. And those people I finally um oh yeah. Sam, sorry, one second. Sam, yeah, I'll get Chandel to change your password to that portal. The portals are weird. I'll get that figured out so that that's working for everybody again. Um so okay, back to it. For sales, I've always found it weird because um some businesses you walk into, they're like, "Totally, this is awesome. Let's do it." And those are the people who are advertising in general. But like when you walk into like a party, like the party rental store, who's maybe not advertising, they don't want to spend the money, they have a different mindset where advertising, they just consider it an expense rather than like investment. They're investing in getting more customers, right? They have just this whole different mindset where they don't want to spend money and they have a negative thought around everything. We've worked with so many different businesses um throughout the years, and especially when we were doing the franchise fitness stuff, you would have some businesses who are just killing it, and they're like, let's spend more money advertising, right? And the more money they spend advertising, the more customers they have coming in, they have more people signing up. But then you would have people who are brought in who weren't business owners and they didn't understand business and they didn't really understand that. And they would be like, oh, we can't spend money. We don't want to spend money. Like, I've got $250 a month that we're going to spend on advertising. And then what happens is they're struggling still because they don't want to spend the money and they don't want to advertise because they think that, it's taking away from their profit or their budget. But it's the opposite. It's bringing people in, right? If they're not marketing, then they don't really even have a business.
Right.
So, it's funny when you walk in and you talk to some businesses and they're like, uh, that's why, yeah, some people just have different attitudes. So I've always found it beneficial to chat with them. Maybe you got to leave it with them and then go back and follow up with them and say and like see how things are going. But then also like Sam said, here she's been it like it's a numbers game, right? With all of
Yep.
this, it's the more people you talk to, the more people you're going to get sign up, right? Um, and that's even like I've gone through multiple courses. What originally started out when I first built my first text message marketing system for businesses, it was through a guy. It was I followed a course from a guy named Ben Adkins, and he's a chiropractor turned marketer. And he had a thing out there. It was called the Pizza Money System, and it was almost identical to. It was very similar to what we're doing, except it was you had to do some programming in Twilio to get it to work, but there was code that you could just copy and paste, but you needed to be comfortable going in and setting stuff up. Um, he just said like this is a numbers game. Go out and like just keep talking to restaurants and keep talking to businesses, and the more you talk to, the more cards you hand out, the more little like flyer things you hand out, the more customers you're going to get. And not it's not going to be for everybody, and lots of people are going to say no, I don't like it, but then you're going to hit on people who are just like, yeah, that's a great idea, I love it. And the thing is too, like when you talk to like the party rental business who hasn't ever sent out an email to their customers, definitely sending out that doing like a database reactivation is a no-brainer for them.
Right.
Like,
That's what I was trying to explain to her, and uh, and tell her, yeah, you don't want to wait for your customers to come back to you. You want to out to them and bring them to you. That's the whole, every
just
major.
remind them, you'd be surprised at how many people want to do something, but they don't go and find the person to do it. Like every time we do a database reactivation, I'm always amazed. Well, I guess I'm less amazed these days, but how many people come back for the business that were like, oh yeah, I just wanted to like renovate my kitchen. Oh, I need to get my house repainted. I need to do this. I need to do that. Whatever the business is doing, just reaching out to them, or hey, I was just talking to my buddy and they need this done. Can I refer them to you? You know, so but people are busy in their own heads and they don't even think like whatever, or they have a like for the party rental thing, they might have a birthday coming up, or they might want to get stuff, or whatever, right? There's just um the database reactivation is a really good place just to start with them anyways. um and then yeah, I mean, get them added to more things and whatever, but even just sending out an email to their past customers to get them more business, get more people coming in. And I mean, with our system there, with the rewards one, you could use the restaurant one and set up promotions for them so they could be sending out a promotional flyer, once a week. Because I'm sure they do more than just like party rental. They're doing tables, chairs, dinnerware, stuff like that. Is
Yeah,
more thing bouncy castles, that kind of stuff too, or
I don't know the full extent. I mean, I was looking at the website before. I mean, but like balloons and like arches and
yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
wedding
I think they
stuff,
do like
all that.
quinceañeras.
It's all about
Um,
keeping top of mind, especially for that stuff, right?
yeah.
There's probably decent amount of competition for it as well, depending on how big of town you guys are in.
Well, I'm in Chicago, so
Yeah, there's going to be some competition. I remember I was just thinking like the town we were living in before where we are now. There was only 5,000 people. So, but it was a resort destination, right? So it was all resorts, like beaches, everything like that. And then they had one party rental place that would basically do all the weddings,
right.
in the area, kind of thing. So they were always busy because people are coming there for weddings and all that kind of stuff all the time. So um, there was no competition for them, and that was one of the reasons why we had to get out of that town, was just because business is weird. But on top
Yeah,
of
when
that,
you have
you guys have tons of competition there, so just staying on top of mind for those people.
yeah, I was gonna say when like we're in a small town of 5,000 people, everybody knows who you go to
Yeah,
for what? Oh,
totally.
you need a new roof? Call Bill. Bill does all the roofs around town, and
Yeah.
this person does all the party rentals, like you said.
Yeah, I've
Um,
got buddies that are like own concrete businesses and stuff like that. And it's like, who do you call? Well, you call those guys because they're the only guys around, right? But or maybe there's two businesses that do that in town. Whatever.
right.
There's not everybody knows everybody in a town like that. So that's interesting. But Chicago, I mean, they gotta telling those people they gotta step up their game. I'm gonna send that out to them right now in my brain. I had I worked with a lady before. Well, she was like kind of a friend. I knew her. And she had this clothing business, but she would do advertising, but she would only do one thing once, even if it worked. She's like, oh yeah, that I did that advertising, that worked really well, and I'll never do it again. Like,
Right.
why? Why like, no, she's like, I only advertise one way once and then that's it. And I'm like, okay. Again, she sold like saris and stuff like that, like the clothing and wraps and uh
Hmm.
uh Indians type dress wear and all that kind of stuff. So it was just interesting, some people's thoughts. But I ran into so many people throughout the years who do not want to spend any money on advertising, um, to bring customers in, to keep customers around. Um, and I don't know why. Like I can understand it. It comes from a lack mindset where they think, they're gonna put that out there and they're just gonna lose money on it. But um it doesn't even need to be complicated in order to bring customers in, right? There was one restaurant we wanted to work with. Their table there, you go eat there. It's you're walking out, you're spending $200 anyways. But their places and their places, they had really really good food. um it was great, but in the slow season they were dead. They're okay in the summertime when people are there for like the resorts and stuff like that, but in the wintertime they were dead. And we're like, well, we want to help you guys with marketing, build your website. Like, I mean, there's a lot of local peoples who would come out. But I mean, it's surprising how many local people, even in a small town of 5,000, you say, hey, have you been to this restaurant before? And people who've lived there for 10 years are like, I don't even know where that restaurant is, you know?
Right.
So like, hey, we'll help you. And they're like, no, like, so I mean, we want to take a management fee plus do advertising. And they're like, yeah, we're only going to spend $200 a month max on everything. And we're like, that's like that, whatever. Okay, well, that's it. I guess we won't help you
Right.
anymore. But that just comes down to actually the people who own the restaurant were like, they're older. They're like, yeah, totally, let's do it. But then they had a manager who was there, and he was like, absolutely not. That's stupid. That's way too expensive. We're not spending money on getting customers.
They don't see the ROI.
No, yeah, he
That,
didn't, and they just trusted him. So you're gonna run into businesses like that all the time. So it's basically just a numbers game. Go talk to as many people. Sam, like I was gonna mention, Sam said on Friday she's been getting up. She I think they used to own a bar, or they used to own a pub or a bar or something like that. So she says she's been used to getting up really early. So she's been out like hitting up bakeries and everything like that, like 6 in the
I would
morning.
think, I would think if you owned a bar, you'd get up later and be up later.
Depends if you're like managing, and depends. I don't exactly know what they used to what exactly the situation was before that. I know they ended up closing. I think it was during COVID or something like that.
Mm.
Um but now, yeah, she says she's been doing this and it's been awesome. And we did that 3K, 3 weeks to 3K thing last month, and she said she hit her 3K for getting started with stuff, and she signed up a few people, but she said she's just been out every day trying to talk to as many people as she can.
Yeah, I mean, I applaud her for that. I did not make my 3K. So
It's
I'm still working on it.
different,
Hopefully the
right?
next month will be different.
Well, yeah, and then you're working full time too, so
Yeah.
like you said. And what do you do for work? I've
Uh,
seen you at different like stations and different you pop on every once in a while, and you're at a convention and then something else, and then
yeah, I work a lot of conventions. I manage audio visual installations
oh, okay.
uh for like trade shows and conventions. So I manage like, putting in uh monitors and speaker systems and projectors and all
Nice.
that type of stuff and make sure it's all working and figuring out technical problems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
Yeah. So
cool.
so
Actually,
that's
when
awesome.
the right convention like NRA is coming up, it's just a restaurant convention, right? So
Yeah.
if I can, I
Get some
drop,
cards, get some demos,
yeah,
talk to people about it. Anyways, that would be awesome.
yeah.
Um,
So
yeah, so take that demo page that I just shared in the thing there, set up like again, so the reason why I set this up was so that you don't have to use one of your own licenses to set up a demo account. So you can just send people over here and just go through it. And I think it's important just to tell people too, hey, we can rebrand this to look any way that you want.
right,
Like we have the capacity to do this, but this is just a quick demo to give you an idea of how our entire system works. You know, and people are usually okay, that's awesome, and they're not expecting this to look when you say you can change it for their brand or whatever, then they're cool with that. And any kind of demo I've sent people to like this in the past, they're just like, yeah, okay. So it gives them a really good idea of how the entire system works. So if you even go through and you have any suggestions or ideas of, hey, this would be better if we did something this way, shoot it over to me. Let me know too, because I'm up for it. I think for the most part, this goes through it well. And then I'm also gonna make sure that I finish up the pitch deck that we have this week too, so I can send that over and put it in our marketing section
and
for
you.
this.
I'm sorry, I always cut you off.
No, that's okay. I do the same thing.
You built everything inside GHL pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Means you just have extensive knowledge of the program.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been using high level for both, it'll be almost 4 years now.
Okay.
We've been in there, so lots of different
Mhm.
there's always new things coming out, but it's cool.
There's it's like as soon as you're grasping one thing, something else comes out, you know. But
Yeah, I
I
know. I
still
see
say,
something like all the time. It's like, oh, this new thing came out, and then I'm like, like yeah, I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna have to go figure out whatever that is there, you know?
right,
So there's
even with your
definitely,
program, you know, it's not as huge as that, obviously, but um, I'm sort of committing myself to smaller portion of it, and then trying and doing that well, and then adding on, you know,
yeah,
everything else, you know, just doing both most rewards and not like not adding on the VIP yet or not adding on, you know what I mean? Just like
yeah.
keep it
So even,
simple and then grow.
so depending on the business that you talk to, you might rewards is good. I think you have to judge on the business whether it's the rewards is going to be the selling feature for them, or if it's the promotions aspect where for a lot of businesses, I think it's really going to be starting out with the promotions aspect of being like, and not even saying, hey, we're going to do promotions and coupons and whatever, but just saying, just to start off, hey, we're going to build you a list of customers that you can remarket to without having to like rely on social media or like Instagram algorithms or anything like that to get in front of your customers, right? We're just going to help you build this captive audience of customers that you can remarket to over and over again without so and then that it's getting to them because I mean even if you grab some of the stats around SMS marketing, people it's got like a 95% delivery rate or 95% open rate. People open generally within, 5 to 10 minutes of receiving the text message. Um, there and focusing on that, there's a lot of different stats around it. I've got a few more put together. I forget where I put them. Okay, local.ca/SMS. I've got it in our pitch deck anyways that talks about SMS marketing. Um, I'll just finish it up so that it's generic and it works for these, but Oh, and I mean, the thing with social media is even if they're posting on social media, they're only reaching from their Facebook page, they're only reaching like 3% of people if they're lucky
Right.
too. So,
And it's
anyways,
a lot,
go
it's a
get
lot
on
of
it.
extra work to do all that social media marketing yourself. I mean, to do it, it's a lot of work to do that.
Yeah.
It's a whole other job. Not even to mention doing the ads is a whole other job.
Yeah, no, it's a whole other thing. So I mean, that in itself, like I mean, even running Chandel's gonna put a course together on how to run Facebook ads too, because she's been doing it for over 10 years on how she runs Facebook ads for all the businesses that we work with, because that's a big part of what we do. It's a big upsell. They can get the SMS marketing piece, but what we'll do is sometimes we'll just run ads for them for their first month just to get them more customers on their list so that they don't want to quit because they have customers on that list. But then we'll upsell them on a package as well where we'll run ads for them and keep driving new customers to that list, and then they get offers and specials and stuff like that for signing up too.
Are you guys for hire for that?
Yeah, you could always talk to I could always get you in touch with Shan, or you can always get in touch with Shan however and ask her because yeah, she'll run ads
Okay.
too. So yeah, I see
I
that
can do I can do it, but I know that there's people that do it, you
yeah,
know,
and there's a couple different
way
ways. I think
better.
she's gonna put some stuff. She might put some stuff together for UpHex too, and then using UpHex or Play or something like that, where there lots of ads are kind of already done for you. You can just kind of run ads for them. They're good, but the problem that you run into with that is there a lot of times they're the same ad that people are running for everyone. So she has different ways of looking at numbers, and she likes to dig into the analytics of everything and say like how are ads performing and how yeah, what kind of ad spend are we getting, what are we getting cost per click, analyzing that kind of stuff rather than just turning things on and off. But I've also seen people um where they're just like, yeah, pay us money, and then they just hit boost. They hit boost on a post and chart and do like $30 a day in ad spend just to boost a post on Instagram or something. So that's good, but you don't really get any of the details, and then you can't do any of the like custom audiences or anything like that either. So
Right.
yeah, it's interesting. Gonna see just I see that Newman is in here, and then also Ben isn't just gonna give them a shout out, see how see how they're doing today. What are they up to? Newman, how's it going? Maybe they can't hear. Maybe they're just hanging
Maybe
out.
maybe it's in the shower.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I don't have a whole lot more tech stuff to go over, and I'm glad we talked about a bit about sales. Shan will be sending out. I want to make sure everybody gets the info from the 21 day challenge because that was really good in there. A lot of good stuff about sales. There's also I like this book. It's called Spin Selling. It's a good book to read if you're going out and selling people and stuff. It's a good way to just get in the mind frame of selling and talking to people. There's another book that I had too, The Greatest Salesman in the World, and it's got by Og Mandingo. Mandino. It's a really old one, but it's interesting. And what he talks about here, it's less about sales technique and it's more about just mindset of sales. And with the idea that, you're going out there with the intention of you want to help people,
Right.
basically he's like centering, it's kind of like not like woo-woo type stuff, but like approaching the idea of sales with love, like you're out there trying to help people and rather than just trying to sell them on something, kind of thing, being grateful and stuff like that. So it's a really interesting book too, but it's just all about mindset, and he kind of goes over things for like he's like he wants you to repeat one chapter for like a month, and you just keep reading it over and over, and then the next month you do the next chapter over and over, and you just keep going from there. And then at the end he's like, you'll be a great salesman. It's just an old classic anyways. But yeah, okay, well, um cool. Well, I think maybe we'll close a little bit early today on the tech call. But if you guys have any more questions or anything like that, feel free to reach out. Shoot me a message on here or on Facebook or in the group, whichever you want to do it. And I mean, I'm happy to help. So thanks for stopping by today, and enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you guys on Thursday.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you guys later.